guys, we need to start.
Oh, now we are. Now we are. So
Facebook.
should we kick it off?
Yes,
We're all
Ed.
good. We're all good. Ready to
Should we
go.
kick it off?
That's it. We are. Good
Should we
morning.
announce it?
Yes.
What's up, Facebook Live? Happy Friday.
What's going on?
Yeah. How is everybody?
Very good. Very good. Good week
You
so
find
far.
your phone, Ed,
I hope.
that you have in your hand.
Yeah.
Did you find your phone? You
My
were looking
phone
for
is-
your phone and you had it in your hand.
Oh, yeah.
You're a
It's
little bit
actually
low.
right here, so I'm using my phone as the camera.
Yeah.
And me?
Can you
My
bring
voice?
the volume up a little bit so we can hear you a little bit better?
Maybe I should. Hold on. How's that? Better?
Yeah. Good.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's what it was. The
It's
volume.
Gigi. We have Israel Martinez with
Hello.
his spring jacket today and with his new haircut. All right. So
Ooh.
let's start right away because we have only
Bro cut?
an hour
Bro cut?
left. We are going to discuss getting ready for the spring market, and we're going to talk about what buyers should be doing, how sellers can get ready, and agents, what you should be doing for yourself. And a lot of the material we're going to cover is, a lot of it has data, and some of it has our own opinion. So I hope it's going to be useful for everybody, right?
Very true.
Just our opinions. That's all we're going to be doing. We're going to be discussing opinions.
That's it.
And
That's
a
it.
lot of data. There is a lot of data and opinions based on experience. It's not an exact science, real estate. Not unfortunately, but because it's a human science to me. And let's do the best we can to help everybody out there. All right. So let's start. Israel, take it away. What do you want to start with?
So,
It's
You
Ed.
gonna say Ed, you gonna say something? I can start it off.
well, no, if you guys want, I mean, listen, all I was going to say is we know what we're entering. We're at the end of the first quarter, so that's the reason why we're going to be discussing the spring market. That's all I was really going to say, but Israel, you can take it away, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a really good segue, and I'll piggyback on that real quick. So, obviously with the COVID, with everything that's going on, one of the biggest questions for those who are out there, for those who are interested in knowing the market, they always ask the same question every time. Doesn't matter what area you're in, they always ask that same question: how is the market? Right? How is the market? What is the market? A buyer's market? Is the market a seller's market? Are people buying today? Are people actually selling today? And really, as agents, we go through our own data and figure that thing out because it's not only how it feels, but really the data itself will let us know exactly if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. And my absorption, right, Gigi?
Yes. So what I've seen is a lot of people also making assumptions using an area at large, and where we're experiencing in our area, our New York metro area, a lot of different things. And I think we need to explore it. Let me just make sure I add this to the stream. Here you go, a nice spreadsheet. I am not a spreadsheet person, but there it is.
Ooh, I love spreadsheets.
So
I appreciate the colors, though, Gigi. I'm a color person, so I love.
Yeah,
colors.
well, I'm not. Usually, I would just bullet point it. And I was talking to Vincent yesterday on the listing we're working on, and he goes, "I don't think bullet points would work for this client," but I'm like, okay, whatever. So I just went over the source of all this absorption time. It's going to look like a lot of math right there, which could be good to some, bad for a lot of us like me. But I went over our multiple listing service and just ran some stats because I wanted to see the absorption we wanted. Israel, Ed, and I wanted to see, what's out there per borough. So we did some stats for residential 1 to 4 family house, and we did some stats for co-ops and condos. We're going to leave commercial out and rentals, total different beast. All right. And we are going to cover the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, Nassau, and Suffolk. In light red, it's going to be buyer's market. and green is going to be the seller's market, and we're going to discuss the numbers and what it means quickly. All right. So I'm saying that in the Bronx, it shows that for residential real estate, you have 4.3 month absorption time for those houses, and co-op condos combined is 5.7 months. And because it's green, puts us in a seller's market. What does it mean? Somebody wants to answer that? You guys want to answer those?
Sure, I can answer that real quick. So
Keep
pretty
going.
much the market, buyers and sellers market is more of it's a way of looking at it is supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
If there's very little supply and there's a lot of demand, then that becomes a seller's market. You know, that means that there's not many houses out there, but there's a lot of buyers out there looking to buy that home. So that's a really good sign in that aspect for the seller, obviously. In reverse, the buyer's market is obviously very little demand for a home, but a whole bunch of supply. And really what that means for the buyers is that you have more than, 3-4 options to buy a home. So what happens between the two is the fact that sometimes with seller's market, the prices can go up because people are going in through bidding wars. But then when it comes to a buyer's market, it depends on that how high of less demand, if you want to call it that. You know, the prices can start dropping, right? Because if the buyer has more than one option, then you actually have to sort of entice that buyer in order for them to come to you to buy that home. Where in the other sense, for the seller, you know, you put in a price that works well. Again, it's between the buyers to determine who has a better buying power in order to buy that home. So this is how it actually is done. As far as
I don't think I could have explained it better. Thank you so much. So it's a matter of how many options you have. That's so well said, Israel. Thank you so much. So more options a buyer has, basically the market is tending towards a buyer's market. All right. The less options a buyer has is basically when actually they have only one option, that's a seller's market, and it depends how long basically the whole of the available inventory is remaining on the market, and what is called the absorption rate or the absorption time, and usually it's calculated in number of months. So anything above 6 months, any type of houses or co-op condos that stays on the market for sale for more before it goes to contract for more than 6 months, that is this is basically real estate that is in a buyer's market. Under 6 months staying on the market, it's a seller's market. And in New York City, we're witnessing a little bit of everything, depending on where you are. It looks like in the Bronx, you're still in a seller's market, even though co-ops and condos are lagging a little bit behind, but houses are doing really well. Like you're going to put a house on the market, basically from the time, it would take about 4.3 months to sell the whole of those homes that are currently available for sale. That's not a lot of, that's a little bit above the national average right now, but it's really not a lot of time. It's pretty good. All right.
I actually have a listing in the Bronx, and it took me several months to actually get a sale. So yeah, I completely understand that.
But you got it, right?
Yeah, got it. We're in contract right now, so it's a good sign.
Yeah, and usually I think it's a matter of the sellers also understanding where the market is going and what the demand is. And sometimes it's always a matter of price. I think, to me, always a matter of price.
Well, let me piggyback on that a little bit, and also some of the information I've actually heard. And as far as my opinion, right, it also has to do with COVID. So COVID actually has put a pause or a stop on the market. It really stopped certain areas. So folks, who are not working, folks who are not, looking out there because they don't want to catch it, so on and so forth, have actually slowed down the idea of saying, you know what, I want to start buying. But it's turning. I'm getting more and more buyers calling me, asking me about certain products or certain houses. So it's a good sign on that.
Yeah, I'm just typing up and saying hello to everyone out there.
Oh, beautiful. So I'll actually, as they're looking at this chart, and I'll plug in on this. And the one thing that actually draws my eyes on this is two things. look at the fact of how, residential homes compared to condos and co-ops in the certain areas like Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island, right? When you look at that, look how long they've been in the market, look how long, kind of inventory there is, look how long a buyer's market it is. But then when you look at Nassau and Suffolk, where most of them are houses,
things are flying off.
Amazing on how fast they're flying over there. I mean, I'm about to go buy one. I'm kidding. I'm not. But the point is, it's amazing on how low those numbers are. It's because, folks are looking for space. They're looking for land. They're willing to spend that extra for those taxes. So they're looking for that.
Right.
And I'm happy to see that for Nassau and Suffolk, but it's a little nerving to see what's going on in the rest of the community.
Understanding Manhattan, when you had a lot of stuff that went on the market, probably too many at once, and prices are really high, and it does not necessarily, as you were saying, answer what the buying public wants right now. It doesn't check the boxes. Talking about space in Manhattan, smaller apartments, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to see eventually, I think we're going to see price readjustment in the market.
Yes,
and actually you're seeing it. And then people, I think it's going to have to readjust itself. It is not a bubble. It is not the real estate bubble that is going to burst. It's just readjustment time. We just want to make sure that people get back to work because we still have very high unemployment rate.
Yes.
Okay. 5 boroughs. So a lot of few factors. We're not going to talk about the market reports and so on right now.
Exactly.
But to see different boroughs, different market. Nassau, Suffolk, super hot. Okay. Manhattan, not that much. Queens, Staten Island, and Brooklyn, watch out. Okay. When it comes to co-op condos, not the hottest product because, again, space and what people want. So ultimately, prices will also readjust themselves. And then you have pockets in those boroughs that are doing much better, pockets of neighborhoods that are doing much better.
I agree.
Right?
I agree with that.
If anybody, so someone asked, how's the market in the area you work in? Is it a buyer's market or seller's market? This is basically what we were discussing. And you guys, please put in the comment what market you're in. Is your area a seller's market or is your area a buyer's market? And when talking about area, let's go with micro neighborhood. I'm in Kew Gardens right now. Ed, you're in Long Island Valley Stream, and Israel is in Forest Hills.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the co-op condo market in Kew Gardens is horrible.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And houses are about the same thing, about a little bit over 6 months absorption time, and it is what it is. And you have also, the problem is you also have houses are staying long, but they also very few of them because people are not quite decided on what they want to do.
Well, to also add on to that, I mean, our market, Kew Gardens and Forest Hills, we are inundated with a lot of co-ops, with a lot of condos. In comparison to having houses. And I agree. It goes back to they're staying there a little longer than they should. But I'm hoping to see those turnarounds pretty quickly.
Yeah. So
it's a buyer's market.
So we put that into perspective. Let's talk about the buy. I know there is a lot of people getting ready to buy, and we're seeing that they're coming out of their COVID stigma. They were furloughed for a few months. They're getting back. They went back to work, and the banks could not qualify them yet. But then in March, April, they'll be ready. So what advice? Because you guys work more with, Israel, you work buyers and sellers. You probably more buyers, Ed, you work with also buyers and sellers, but you work with more buyers than I do. So I want to hear it from you. And what you suggest for buyers to do to get ready for this basically big, what's the English word? Sorry, it's not 12 o'clock yet. I don't know what word you're using. Where
12 o'clock here or 12 o'clock in
this hard thing.
Well, what I was going to say, and actually, it's springtime now for us, and mentally, as realtors. Yeah, but when it comes to the buyers themselves, it's time to shake off that hibernation rust that you have in you, and just come out. Come on out.
We've been busy. We've been lucky that our
We've been busy, but come on out.
Yes.
And when you come out, the first thing to do is actually go and get yourself a pre-approval. Just come and get your pre-approval and find out what is your buying power when you do that.
Do you think it's the most important? Because people would say, and I'm going to be the devil's advocate, and you guys can both answer.
Oh, God.
I know. Let me just.
That's over. It's over. That's it.
Let's do devil's advocate. Let me put you side by side. All right. So, somebody's going to come to me and say, yeah, don't worry about the pre-approval. I make good money. My credit's like 756. I'm good.
Good to hear that.
You say to them, because a lot of people are like, I'm like, and on a lot of instances, if I'm going to work directly with the buyer, I'm like, yeah, come on down, just take a look at the property. What do you say to those guys?
Yeah, handle that one.
Oh my God.
That face says it all.
That face.
Hold on a second. I'm like,
yeah, take a sip of
that
coffee.
Face says it all.
Yeah.
That face says it all. It's over.
No, listen, at the end of the day, I know that we play a very important role. We're supposed to inform the clients on the next steps. Yeah. And I feel that a lot of people are entering the world, first-time home buyers. What do we really think about? Hey, I saw this place on Zillow. I want more info, right? So now we as the agent have to now hold them by the hand and say, hey, I know you love this place, but there's some steps that we have to take to get there. And I'm glad you mentioned it, Israel, as far as the pre-approval goes. I know your credit is good. I'm sure it's great. I haven't checked it myself. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure your income is great. I'm sure you have the money in the bank. I'm sure you have a great job. But at the end of the day, if we go see this property, you still have to submit these documents, number one. Number two, imagine if you're jumping into the areas that it is more of a seller's market, like Nassau County, like Suffolk County, for example. If you're going to go see this property today, and you tell me I don't have a pre-approval, but it's no big deal, I could get it done anyway. My friend Joe knows a guy who knows a guy that says he could do it real quick. So you know what I say to them? How come you haven't done it yet? Oh, well, I mean, like I called the guy, I told him, but he told me that, okay, no worries. Listen, I have people on my team that can get you pre-approved ASAP if you're serious. If you're serious about it, we can get you approved ASAP. What are the documents they're going to need? To sum it up, guys, they're going to ask you for your 2 years tax returns. They're going to ask you for pay stubs. They're going to ask you to run your credit. They want authorization. There's a misconception about running credit. A lot of people believe if I run my credit and if I run it again tomorrow with another bank, hey, that's going to damage my credit. Key factor here is if you're looking to purchase a place and you're doing it within a 40-day window, you can run your credit with 200 credit mortgages, okay? And it's only going to count as one inquiry. And if you guys were a part of that training that we did on Wednesday, we actually had a gentleman there from Credit Services that literally went through that. So this is the type of information we have to give people. People are scared about running their credit and they don't want to run their credit. So they kind of want to wait, but they feel that, Credit Karma says I'm good. Yeah, there's more to it. But just to finish off here.
Let's go quickly again. So let's go and just run quickly the type of documents they should get ready when they sit down with the mortgage specialist, the loan officer, the mortgage broker, whatever they're going to need. You said they need to get income, so that includes 2 years tax return.
Correct. 2 years tax returns. They're going to be looking at probably 3 months of your most recent pay stubs.
Okay.
They're also going to be checking bank statements just to make sure that you can put down whatever that down payment's going to be.
Pay stubs.
So pay stubs, bank statements, and then they're going to ask to get authorization to run your credit, Okay. And at least with this, you now have the information, and it's like, hey, look, the bank is going to lend you X amount of dollars. This is how much, if you're looking at residential, this is how much the property taxes can be. It can't surpass this. This is what the down payment is. Once you have that, you can go and look at the properties. What if you found that right property and you fell in love with it and you were just like, oh my God, Ed, I love this place. I need to have it. And then I'm like, great. Do you have your pre-approval? And you tell me, no, I got to go get it from my boy that knows a guy that knows a guy. Told me he was going to get it quick, but he just never got it. Okay, well, just remember that somebody saw this yesterday and probably made the decision to purchase it. So today they're submitting the offer. That's what you're going up against when you're running out to these areas like Nassau County and Suffolk County. You know what I mean? There's people outbidding each other. There's people that are going in to see these places already pre-approved, already ready to go. And think about it. We can't really tell the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, listen, they can get it done. Just bear with me. You know, just wait. Don't accept any other offers. I know you might get some over asking offers, but please don't accept it. He knows somebody that could get it done for him. Just give me a second. We can't. How does that sound?
Yeah, and I, as a listing agent, I see a lot of the times like I just don't like those. Like you said, I know a guy who knows a guy. Like we lend you quick.com, you know, and those. I receive pre-qualifications, and I know for a fact the buyers did not give any documents to the mortgage person. So those papers are just basically toilet paper. You know, it's useless. So yes, as a listing agent, I would want to see also making sure the funds are in the bank, not under the mattress, or in some remote country, in some islands in the Pacific, you know, where you don't know where they're going to be coming to America. So,
Movie's coming out soon.
Yeah, yes, I know. Can't wait. I love that movie.
I can't wait.
Anyway, it's right.
So, I agree with it 1,000% with the funds. You certainly need to make sure that you have all the funds ready to go. And I love the fact that, you know, Ed, you put this point where you may think that you're seeing it today and you'll be able to buy it tomorrow, but the same person just saw it yesterday and is doing the same process already, right? So it's really very important that you actually stay prepared. I mean, the quicker you are prepared, the better you'll be to actually submit an offer, even within that 1 hour, if you think about it, right? Once you like that place or you love it, hey, you already have all the paperwork ready to go. Within that 1 hour, you could submit an offer instead of having to wait a couple days or a couple of weeks because you couldn't introduce everything. So prior to even producing everything, just make sure. And again, mortgage people always look for those few things. They look for your returns, they look for your credits, you know, they look for all that information from you. And you know, one thing I'm actually running into with one of my buyers is that she actually has about 1.5 years working in her job. So now she has to wait 2 years prior to getting the pre-approval. Right. So it's like, it's you know, there is those stipulations that one has to think about. So then,
Oh, sorry,
so,
I was going
to. And having, you know, like yourself, Ed, myself, you know, Gigi, I'm sure you do a couple buyers here and there. Having agents like us, you know, help you educate, prepare, you know, get yourself right to be having the right step forwards, to having the right foot forward in order to actually, you know, to get you into your dream home is a key factor. Also preparing yourself for spring market is speaking to an agent.
No, I just wanted, and you partially answered that question to me. It's like, would you, I mean, of course, we're a real estate agent, but do buyers really need a real estate agent out there? I know it's a big question. Like
his face.
What?
Do buyers out there all need a real estate agent? I'll be advocating for a seller, yes, because this is what I do. We can go through that. But in this market, what's the advantage of a buyer getting a real estate agent? Oh. And you guys are, you know, professional. Let's go. Let's do it.
You want to take care of this one first?
Yeah, go ahead.
If I can, first of all, I am hurt that you would ever.
No, I'm not.
I know it's not you. I know it's not you, but this is the truth.
It's gonna come out. Yes,
it comes out. They ask the question, like, "Come on, man! I could look this up on my own. I could find all the property. I could do the job." But what they fail to miss is that they don't know what happens next. Anybody can find a job. Look, there's a lot of agents that just open doors. What do I mean? You call them right now and say, hey, I want to see this property in the next 2 hours. Can you show it to me? They're going to be there to open that door. Yes, they're going to open it. They might not have any information of the property, but here, walk right in. If you have any questions, let me know. What you want to do is you want to get an agent that's going to guide you through that. Why? Imagine, look, I talk about this a lot. TurboTax. You could do your own taxes. Imagine telling an accountant, do we really need an accountant at this point? Like, I mean, TurboTax is kind of free. Like, I mean, I do my own taxes. Yeah. And this is what I say, you could look up all that information and do it. But I can almost guarantee you that if you did that, well, here's the thing. If you did do that, what would happen if the government audited your taxes? Who do you run to then? Who's going to help you get out of that? TurboTax is going to tell you to call the hotline, and well, at the end of the day, you were the one that did it, so you can only be mad at yourself. Where you do this now is you take that off of yourself. You hire a professional that's going to go in there and now negotiate and do business with the other agent. I'm sure you guys can agree with this. And Gigi, look, I know you work with buyers, but you're very selective. You do a lot of sells. You love selling the properties. You do a lot of listing appointments. You do a lot of properties that you're on the seller's end. But when the buyer comes in, the ones that come by themselves, how excited are you to do business with them? They're by themselves, no agent. It's like they don't have the information.
I mean, this is what I believe in, and this is what I believe why agents are so a good agent, not a door opener, a good agent, an educated agent, a trained agent who's going to understand what their job is just to basically facilitate a transaction. But you have things behind the scene. Although I'm very driven and type A personality, for buyers and sellers, I'm very big on numbers. So I'm going to run, a lot of stats to see what's, again, those absorption time, the statistics, how many, let's say we're going to sell like a house, how many 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house attached in this neighborhood with the garage, what's the average time it's sold, what was the average listing price versus selling price, where I think we should be placed. I think is the same thing with buyers. If you could educate them with actual facts and say, this is what's been going on. All right. Everybody's talking about things over asking. Yes, over asking. Yes, you could, but let's take a deeper look. Let's look at this listing price we have right now versus the selling price. How long, what's the difference between that listing and selling? How long it was on the market, and so on and so forth. Then you can make an educated decision. And if you went to an open house and you saw like 25 people waiting to get into that house, you can't play. You can't play. You'd better listen to that buyer's agent of yours, because you're going to be wasting your time. And I think a good agent should be able to say to a buyer, I'm sorry, I don't think we should even bother with this type of offer. When I have agents who come to me with ridiculous offers and no paperwork attached, with that offer, oh, well, trust me, I have a good reputation on the business and my client is a junior accountant. I'm like, okay, junior accountant. How long has he been working? Oh, I don't know.
Right. Sure, was it TurboTax?
Okay. You see my point?
TurboTax?
I believe a good agent is that source of information, and you should be able, and we have all the tools within as realtors, within our brokerage, within our team, our organization. We have so many tools we can pull out to just provide the right service to buyers and sellers. And yes, I think numbers are very, very important. As an agent, you have to do research that is not readily available to the buyer. That's my answer. Cool.
It's true. I like it. Good. What I would say is, just to add to that, really, is again, when you're finding the right agent, you're looking for these qualities. You're looking for somebody to partner up with. Okay, it's not somebody that you're gonna hide information from. It's someone that you want to give that information to, so that they can effectively find the property you're looking for, and they can effectively negotiate to try to get you to pay either the best price possible or to try to get you to pay as least as possible. But that's the type of jobs that we hold. So as far as the agent is concerned, understand that outside of that, chances are we've done business with each other down the road or sometime before. So it's more interesting to do business with someone you've done business with in the past than someone who you've never done business with.
Sure. So here is a question from Melody, and before we go into, because I also wanted to ask you guys the importance of hiring an agent on an exclusive basis. We'll just brush this like a couple of minutes because it's already 11:30. So Melody is asking, so what would you suggest if the buyer has an expired pre-qual and now refuses to get a pre-approval because they do not want to get a hard hit on their credit report until they find the right home? Move on to the next one? She's not too sure. So if that pre-approval expired 2 years ago, yeah, I think move on.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, the advice that expired 2 years ago?
No.
It was my I just said if it expired 2 years ago, yes. If it just expired, and to me, if it just expired and the situation of the buyer has not changed, if they still, meaning they still have the same job, they have not made big purchases on credit card, and they have paid all their dues and credit card, maybe.
Well, let me just plug in. Let me just plug in 2 seconds. You can jump in right after.
Yeah.
If you have someone who actually has an expired pre-qual pre-approval, all right, and they're not willing to work with you on that, and let's just say you've already seen it, right? You've already know who the mortgage person is. Call that person. Find out how well a buyer they are, right? Find out how well they did that pre-qualification or pre-approval, and then once you have already sort of pre-qualified a lender in the sense that they did a good job, then move on. Because honestly, that means that they've actually done a good job. They've actually done all their checks and balances, and from there, you can find out if this buyer is willing to be as serious as possible, or is a good buyer with a good buying power. So,
I'm gonna move on to the next question from Audrey.
Dad, no, finish your thought.
Did you bring? No,
go ahead.
You guys killed it. I don't even think I have to add to that.
Oh my God, it's such a this one is so needy. I swear to God.
I don't even want to cut you off.
I love you. I love you, right?
I love you guys too, man. But listen, the other thing I would do is if they have a copy of it, ask them to send it to you. Try to find out how old it is. You know what I mean? If it's recent, try to collect as much information as possible. This right here is an opportunity for you, though. If you lock arms with a lender, if you have a lender that you're working with or that you can refer them to, this is the opportunity for you to take that information and say, hey, let me connect you with one of my lenders. Let me see what we can do. And you can kind of walk them through that process.
I have one more statement. If your buyer is worried...
I'm going to cut you off, Gigi.
Sure.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
If your buyer is worried about getting hit with an inquiry, I don't know. I mean, maybe his credit is not that great.
I mean, is he serious at that point?
Is
he serious at that point?
About it.
How long ago?
If they worked hard, I'm sorry, Ed, but if they worked hard to go from a 650 to a 720 or 820, whatever the number is, and they worked hard to get that, and then all of a sudden, they feel like every inquiry, whether it's hard or light or whatever you want to call it at that point, hurts them, then I mean, I get it.
Okay, get it. Okay, move on to Audrey.
What?
Audrey's question is, what if there is a buyer that is just starting to look? Let me see. I'm not even all there. So doesn't exactly know what they want, so they don't want to get a pre-approval yet. Oh, well, this is your job as a real estate agent. You guys answer this one.
Listen,
answer that.
That sounds like somebody is looking for a friend. They're looking for somebody to talk to. They really listen. We joke around about it a lot, but again, what I would ask them is get a time frame. Somebody who's just starting to look. If you say, hey, when are you buying? What are you looking? I'm really just kind of searching right now. Well, what's your time frame? Well, I don't know yet. If I find the right place for the right amount in the right area, I just might make the right decision. Well, great.
Yeah.
Do you see that happening a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 4 months, then they're going to give you a solid date. With that information, again, we were talking about it as far as the absorption rate. Does it really make sense if someone is going to buy 6 months from now? Does it really make sense to look at properties right now?
Right now.
If you're buying a co-op, it takes about 3 months to go through that application process. You know what I mean? But if someone's looking 6 months to a year from now, it's like if we're looking at properties today, chances are they're not going to be there when you're ready to buy it. So let's get informed with the market. Let me take you on a couple of virtual tours, build a relationship, gauge when they're going to buy, and then make sure you're there to execute it.
Okay, let's
The question to ask also really quick is, what has to happen, for you to make this purchase, right? And then you start asking, what is that right moment, right price, whatever the case may be. And what if we found something that you really love? Pretty much that next question follows as so, in the sense that, what happens what happens if you fall in love with something? I mean, what's going to stop you from putting that offer? I mean, what's going to hold you back from putting that offer? And they give you that entire information from there.
I'm going to cut you short because we're running short on time. So I just want to make sure. So we summarize for buyers. Get your shit. Get ready. Put your paperwork in order. Get pre-qualified. It was French. It was just a French qualification. Get pre-qualified, know what you can afford, know what your mortgage payment you can basically afford. That includes your taxes, your insurance, the mortgage, principal, interest, so on and so forth. And get an agent. Don't be afraid to hire an agent. It's not going to cost you more, right? We haven't brushed on this. 2 minutes. You guys, your take on this, because I think like hiring a buyer's agent on an exclusive basis is also very important. It opens up more possibilities to you.
Got it.
Right. Quick, we have 3.5 minutes.
All right, cool. So listen, what I would say to that is, look, what people don't realize is, as agents, we're independent contractors. You could either hire us to sell the property or you can hire us to help you purchase a property. What does that mean? If you don't hire us, by law, we're supposed to be partnering up with the other agent that is allowing us to then see their property. What does that mean? If you tell me that, oh man, I really love this place, I'm willing to pay anything, and I got all the money down payment, whatever the amount is, I'll pay over that, over asking, no big deal. But I really want to submit a low offer first. I'm going to take all that information and now I'm going to give it to Gigi, because Gigi's the listing agent. And I'm going to say, Gigi, I got somebody for us, man. They're willing to pay everything. They're willing to submit over asking. We just kind of have to make it seem like there's something going on, and maybe
because now it's so bad.
Well, here, understand something. That's not us, but I'm painting the picture so you can see that there is. Listen, there's good agents and there's bad agents out there, and I'm sure you guys dealt with some of them. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we get stories where the person comes in and says, listen, I bought this house 5 years ago and there was something fishy going on with the agent. I feel like I overpaid. Now I'm trying to sell my property and I can't even make back what I. Forget it. It happens. It's something that happens. But that's why if you hire the agent, if you hire the right agent, whether it's to sell your home or to help you buy the next home, you're now putting them in your back pocket. You're now using them as a secret spy. So if I go to Gigi and I'm talking to Gigi and Gigi's now giving me this information, I'm now taking that and giving it back to you. I now run reports on the market, on the area, what we're looking at, where we can come in, see if there's any offers. Let me help you negotiate. There's a different skill when you hire the agent. If you just kind of walk into the open house and say, hey, I'm not dealing with any agents, what's really the first thing that comes to the agent's mind? Ooh, I'm a double end this. Yeah. I'm a double end this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much this buyer pays, because I'm going to help them get it. And they're going to be willing to pay top dollar. And my job is to get my client top dollar for their property. So who do you think they're really going to be working for? For the clients that they sign contracts with, or you that just walk right in through the door? You're a dollar sign. You're a money bag when you walk in by yourself. I want you guys to understand that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely right. Anybody wants to add something before we jump into Sellers.
The last thing I would say with that is, I guess I'll soften some of the stuff, but in a sense that as a buyer's agent, what Ed said is 100,000%. But also one of the things I also try to install to most of my buyers I work with is that you want to pretty much a good customized experience. If you want a good customized experience, you want to be able to, control the price by which you pay for a unit. Let us do it. Let us work on that for you. Okay. So.
Yeah. Cool. Let's talk about sellers. And I'm always joking is how can sellers get ready for this spring market and this surge of buyers coming into the market. We're not going to discuss putting up flowers for curb appeal. Okay, we're not going to talk about the in the the food pantry. We're not going to talk about that. Sorry, we're going to talk about basically. Getting ready as far as planning it out, because a lot of people need to, number one, know that they're selling for sure. What's the time frame when they want to put the house on the market and where they're going? We can't sell the house and say, oh my God, we need to find a rental because we don't know what else to do. You need to sort of plan this out. And I believe now is the conversation to have within your circle, your family, to know what you need to do. You guys want to add something? Where else can they prepare? I think time frame is the most important thing for
me. Two things. It's really one motivation, which you touched upon. How motivated are you? Because the most motivated you are, the easier the home will be, right? And the sense that this will show the buyers out there that are actually really interested in selling your home. The second thing on that is because it's springtime doesn't mean that the honey-do list needs to be accomplished. Okay, so part of that honey-do list, the honey-do list.
The honey-do?
The honey-do list. So the honey-do list is going to rework your home, fix your home, redo the bathroom, rework the shingles.
But make sure you plug up honey. Honey, I need you to clean up the gutters. I need you to clean up.
Right? Because the thing is that yes, you should actually, pretty much fix a little things here and there, but not major projects. Because at this point, major projects in the market when it comes to spring, you may not get that money back right away. So
I'm always against like big projects because it has to do a lot with taste of the person. Let's say they say, "Oh, I'm going to fix up my kitchen and then resell it," and all of a sudden you're gonna have this lovely orange laminated kitchen. It's like, oh, okay, it's not for everybody. So you may have loved it or that deep purple, ashy thing. No. So it's not for everyone. So don't engage into big projects, especially things really specific. Just
declutter.
Just don't do that new patch. Do the whole wall because it's going to show that you just did the patch. Leaky stuff. Declutter. Things could be old and still get a great price. And declutter is the main key. People need to see what they can get with the space. Okay, like if you're gonna have a lot of little porcelain dolls all over, it's too much. The buyer is not gonna be able to envision anything, and it's scary. So,
you gotta bring buyers that are into horror movies. That's all.
Oh no, but I've seen it. Or you come into a person's house and they have photo frames all over the living room and the hallways, and it's like, ooh, and they have like 250 of those. Oh, but this is me, my cousin, their wedding, my grandma, my grandfather, my second cousin.
By the time you get to the attic, you know the whole family.
I understand you're gonna have to put all those frames in a box, So like you need to get the house ready. You need to have your time frames ready, and you also same thing. You want to work with an agent that is going to actually work with you on a pricing and marketing strategy. All right. And there is two ways of going for it, especially in this market. Like if it's in the Nassau-Suffolk market, you cannot just throw any property out there on the market, because if it's overpriced, it will not sell, because
Right.
buyers are stupid, right?
Hold on. But wait a minute. That's what sellers think.
So
right?
even if
That's the first thing you think about. They think that because it's a seller's market, hey, my home should be worth 500, but
Yep.
it's actually worth 400. That's what they think.
No, I mean, I know a lot of sellers take a lot of pride in their home, and yes, they want to have top dollars, but we still have to go run numbers and see how much demand there's going to be, and what that demand can support as far as price. If you go above that, you're going to risk into staying too long on the market, and then your property becomes really undesirable. So pricing is key. We try to recommend always like pricing it a little bit under, so you create some sort of like demand and sense of urgency for buyers to get into it, and ultimately get into bidding wars. And people say, oh, that's a gimmick. Yes, it may be what you call a gimmick, but it's a strategy where you're going to undervalue a little bit. But in the end, because people really see that they might get into a deal, they're going to be willing to overbid each other, and you're going to end up with a market value of the property. Nobody's going to overpay. You're going to end up with, just like at an auction, what is the most people want to buy your house for.
Well, that's a perfect analogy when you use an auction, right? Because in auction, right, they don't ever go with the value of the car or whatever they're selling, or their auction.
Price, yes.
They always go with a low price and let people start bidding up from there. I mean, Gigi, you've been in the industry for a long time, and so have I in a certain way.
57 years.
and
so
I'm sure
started.
I've seen, listings that actually are below market price, but have sold over market price, right? Have gone to the point of actually, 20, 10%, sometimes even 30% above the market price.
Even more. I mean, I'm going to give you an example of what we did like very recently, and this is actually just going into contract right now, not giving you any location or anything. We had the extreme opportunity to work with a seller that was understanding of, even though they were a bit scared, but they understood what we were trying to accomplish. We just gave, knowing what's going on in the area, in the borough where things are still stagnant, and a lot of real estate agents are overpricing properties that stay on the market for a year, 9 months, and they recycle this whole thing. And buyers are looking to get into these areas, but they're not willing to overpay for anything. So we underpriced this property by, I would say, or 8%, 10%, even more, I think, probably, yeah. And then it was priced accordingly. It's an older house. We had so much interest, so many offers, okay? Most of them over asking price. We were able to actually go $50,000 above asking.
Mm-hmm.
In a 2-week period of time. And again, the 2 weeks is the time you want to catch your better offers. And yes, it was nerve-wracking for that seller, because we could have flopped and not grab this market, this basically like huge demand at the right time. So timing is the issue. How are you going to present your property is the issue. How are you going to present it? Like, you're going to need nice professional photos. You can't just take it from your phone on, looking at it like it's like this on the portrait side. Professional photos, tours, if you can have a video, like a Zillow video is good as well. We didn't even have a chance to do all this, but it's like, although it was really nerve-wracking for this seller, we're able to actually ask people to just go and bring their best and higher, knowing that we had like over 15 offers over askings that were valid with very high down payment, and it went to a price a little bit above what we were expecting, and we're very happy with this. And because there is such a large down payment, I think we're going to be able to. If I don't even think there'll be an issue with appraisal, but I think it just works in the seller's favor, and
Right.
they have many options. Those buyer had only one option, is to bring the best and highest, and this seller had many options of many different buyers. And it is what it's what you need to have, like an agent you work with, and you can actually figure out a strategy. And it's always nerve-wracking to purchase, nerve-wracking to sell, like decluttering, prepping the thing, and getting those offers. I know, I understand it's like a big toll on the psyche of those sellers.
Yes.
Working with somebody who's going to be able to communicate with you. Even not necessarily give you updates, but also, like we were talking about the buyers, like being an advisor. Being like a teammate. What do you think, Ed? You've been very silent.
Listen, there's a lot of nuggets here, man. I'm listening to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
So
Okay.
Thank you. So it's
but
not
if you want me to
about,
chime in, I will be more than willing to, man.
No, I know you have a lot of
said it
value
yourself,
to bring
right?
to everybody.
You want to get to the point where you're hiring somebody, you want to be on the same team. You're interviewing agents, you're trying to see who's going to better represent you at the end of the day. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not just looking for anybody, you're looking for somebody to be that source, right? Hey, here I am. This is how I'm going to market your property. You need an attorney? I got you. You need a plumber to fix this? I got you. You need somebody to come in and freshen up? I got you. Who are we?
Right.
We're the source. We're the connecting link.
Right,
That's
and
the
you're
role
not
we
going to
play.
refer, right, and you're definitely not going to refer your friends, but going to refer, like reputable professionals in the area.
Of course.
Those
Right.
are,
Of course.
You're also going
and once you
right, and compensation, like meaning like a cheap commission rate doesn't mean you're going to have good service, because as a seller, you hiring an agent that is going to disseminate and present your house to not only the buying public, but most importantly to me, other brokers, because the other brokers have all the buyers. I may have a couple of people, like 10, 12 people that are going to come tomorrow, but all the brokers out there within our MLS and outside of our MLS have all this pool of qualified buyers. And I want to work to present your property, Mr. Seller, to those brokers. And I want to make sure that we are going to compensate those brokers in the correct way. So yes, sometimes I despair to see, and I feel bad for sellers that have properties on the market for a year and the co-broke commission is 0.5%, where there is no incentive for an agent to come and work when the commission payout is going to be like $2,500 for 3 months of work.
Let me piggyback on that real quick. So the point is really, as a seller agent or as a listing agent, you really have to strategize with your seller to the point of how aggressive do you need me to be to sell your home. There's a difference between having a seller agent or a listing agent who's just going to have things under their inventory. I have 20 inventories of listings, 30 worth of listings. But is that same listing agent going to treat your listing as number one? Right? Are they going to treat your listing as top notch? How are they going to make sure that your listing gets sold to be top notch? And these are things that you want to know and understand, that when you're working with a real estate agent, I mean, we all have marketing plans, okay, as agents. We all do. It's how we use it, right? It's how we make sure that home gets sold for the proper price that you're looking for as a seller to get it sold, right? Not, hey, I have 20 other listings, I'll talk to you in a few minutes, okay? Because there's that difference, right? The difference is that you have listing agents out there who are considered, the ones that will take the low price because they have the listing, they have the inventory, right? But that just means that they just are trying to control the market. However, you do have other listing agents out there who are pretty much, who are hungry, who will show you how to get this home sold and make sure that your home gets sold in the proper way with the right strategy, commission, price, marketing, okay, and get it sold as quick as possible for you.
Yeah, and even sometimes when the market takes a downturn, like when we got hit with the COVID lockdown, and all of a sudden you have accepted offers, they're ready to go to contract, and then the buyer loses their job, and it's like, All right. You got to still be there trying to find solutions with your seller. Maybe it's not what it was. And depending on their motivation, either they're going to keep going with, listing the property and marketing it and readjusting everything and understanding what's going on, because sometimes things are not the fault of the listing agent. And you have to be there where communication, like this seller is basically your boss at that time. You're going to have to answer to them on every move. You're going to have to give them updates on everything and strategize accordingly, whether it's a great market or whether it's a shitty market. Again, a French word. So, sorry, Facebook. All right. So that's what we have to go with. Let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time. It's almost 12 o'clock, and then I have a lot of stuff
Gigi,
to do.
you spent the most time there, Gigi.
I didn't.
Damn it.
Let's talk about agents. What would you guys want to do? What do you need to do to get ready for this market? And I heard when we're getting ready for this this segment today, I heard a great idea from the both of you. How can agents get ready for this real estate market? They're just going to wait for buyers? I don't think so, right? Israel.
No.
You had a fantastic, you told me something really, really nice on what agents should be doing to get ready for this market.
What did I say?
Remember? I don't
remember. I spoke so much. There's times I speak a lot.
I know. And you started saying take action. And that's how you started your explanation. Take action in the sense of, do you remember?
Oh, yes, I remember now.
What did I say?
Well, I mean, I was writing down the notes at that point, but I have
you
you here.
You were on fire. You said
been on fire on that one.
So listen, it's a conversation.
Right.
So really, at the end of the day, what we were discussing was for the agent themselves to take action. Look, in New York State, for example, we've actually been on a do not disturb state of emergency. We can't really have conversations with. We're not supposed to be calling, and it's hard, but there's other avenues that we can take, right? A lot of people are promoting freaking like heavy on social media. I'm not one of them. I put out some information, but it's a lot of stuff to get to kind of put out there. But there's a lot of people that do. They put everything out on social media. So
Israel mentioned the sphere of influence, your database, and everybody has
yes. So pretty much doing that,
look, it's right here.
As an agent, you pretty much
I know. Look, I have all those notes.
2 years ago.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm still writing in it, man.
I know.
Bro, I mean, I'll show you my book. Anyways, so the thing is yes, take action, start calling. I mean, don't wait. Yeah. Don't wait for hibernation to be over. Don't wait for this lift of not calling prospects to be over. Start calling.
Because governor is going to extend probably until whenever he feels.
Yeah, I'm sure until Christmas. I don't want to fix it. Right, which is horrible. I mean, honestly, we've been it's to the point where we're with our thumbs tied. We're not allowed to do a lot of things. Listen, the market is out there. Okay, call your friends and family. Let them know you're still there. Hey, how you doing? How can I help you? I'm looking to help out 100 families today. Who do you know? That can help, that I can help, right? And not only your friends and family, but then also start extending to your coworkers, start extending to your neighbors, start extending to super. Supers, they know people, right? So to the point that I'm trying to make is that don't wait. Take action. Start going.
You know what I like what you said? You actually stated your intentions by telling those guys, I'm trying to help 100 people, right? That's what you said?
Yeah. I'm gonna help out 100 families this year.
So that's stating your intention, like throwing it out to the universe or to people, whatever you want to call it. I think this is great because you're not a secret agent. People know agent, and you want to help 100 people attain the dream of home ownership. Home ownership. All right, and I think this is great. Yes, take your attention, and even if you say, I'm brand new in the business, I got my license for 2.5 minutes, I don't know anybody selling. Ask Ask.
That's it.
You should receive. Who do
You know how-
to help 100 people? You're absolutely
That's it.
right.
You know how powerful that is for a new agent.
It's
I mean,
amazing.
I've actually was just speaking to a new agent. I was mentoring one, and I said, "Why don't you just say those words?" I plan on helping 100 agents. I apologize. I plan on helping 100
That's true.
families.
You have the listing agent.
It's possible too, right?
Yeah.
I plan on helping 100 families this year. Who do you know that I can actually help to make a really good real estate decision this year? Boom.
Wow.
And they'll start asking. They start knowing. They don't know. They say yes, but you start really filling your pipeline. The point is that you want to start filling your pipeline, start getting appointments, and start creating some contracts after that. I mean, right now, ladies and gentlemen, whether you know this or not, we are already in March. We are already in April. Okay, we're already ahead. The dates are out there. We're 2 months ahead in our minds. So you really got to start. So.
And then I would want, as for experienced agent, it's like reorganize your database, your CRM. I mean, I'm sure for those who've had Zillow leads over the years or received leads from on their contact management software and have all those sitting old leads, revamp them, ask them what's up. Sometimes they're going to say, who are you? Because that's your fault. You have not called them. Did
you guys see that comment? Where it's extended to March 24th?
Yes. As of this morning, it's been extended to March 24th. And it's okay. We sort of knew it. It's fine. It's okay. All right? I think to me, and I was like, and you guys made fun of me. You were like, I like, and it's also a big task for me, resegmenting your database according to
2 minutes for that one or 5.
Mm-hmm.
We need about 5-10 minutes for that one. I don't know.
No, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Reorganizing your CRM, segmenting your database. Who's ready now? Who's ready now later on in the spring? And who's ready in 6 months to a year? Because we're going to have to deal with who's ready now. Because now is the time, right? And explore. I mean, we have so many tools out there. Like bring out some marketing campaigns to those leads. We have this great product called KV Core that costs hundreds of dollars a month to the public at large. And we're having this pretty much almost for free. I mean, we have our nominal monthly fee for tech, which is like nothing. And you can have resuscitate those leads and just touch on them. You call, they don't answer, just send a text and it's all automated. You can create whatever. We have tons of hours of training on this. Take advantage of it, because you know what? By the time the tax season is over and people get all their refunds, you're going to be too late. You got to do it now. Now is the time. All right. And
can I add on to one more thing on that? Oh no, wait! I'll let you finish. I'll write it down.
And guys, do open houses. You don't have any. There's nothing. Go and ask another agent if you could do an open house. And please don't expect to get paid half of that agent's selling commission. No, I'm serious. Yeah, I'm laughing.
Really?
What?
But
Are you serious?
Yes, I am, because you don't know nothing about this business. You just started this business.
Hold on a
You're
second.
going to
What
get.
do you mean? I get in
I'm
real
getting-
estate and then I just gotta put in a lot of hours and
I
work
got
for
some
free?
candy. I put some candy
You're
out there.
going-
I got water and everything.
You're going to sit for 2 hours on a listing at an open house, and I hope the listing agent
What do you mean
have to.
sit? I've always stood.
And you can come to that listing agent and say, look, you can keep half of your selling commission. I keep the other half.
Yes.
Even if I have put maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours of work, including sitting down at this open house and find a buyer. This is gold. If you're going to leave with, if you have 5 people coming to the open house, you're going to have the opportunity of having 5 new buyers. And then if you have marketed properly, you're going to have leads that come into your CRM.
And what is happening to leads?
To be nurtured. And this is all gold. So don't be. I'm advising anybody, just don't be greedy and expecting to.
Look, I mean, Gigi, this
Hey.
kind of touches into what we were talking about last week. It's all in the mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to come into this business mindset. You have to come into this, I'm planting seeds. I'm not going to reap what I sow today. I'm going to reap them somewhere in the future. They're not going to come up right here where I threw the seeds. They might pop up on the other side of town. So that's the vision that you have to have moving in. I'm going to do this open house. I'm going to go ahead, expose myself, my character, show myself. I've always looked at open houses to be a stage, right? It's a stage for me to show my skills. It's a stage for you to come in and see how I do business. And if you like the way I respond, if you like the answers I'm giving you, then we'll follow up later on. If this home isn't for you, let me help you find the right home. That's the way you got to view it. Whether they're going to pay you right then and there, I mean, you got to kind of throw that out the window. You can't really think in that mindset. If you get a buyer and you can work that buyer, that's where the gold is. Build a relationship, work them, and then you can close the deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
But look at the open houses as that. It's a free way for you to spend maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours where you're exposing yourself. You look fresh, professional, dress nice, people coming in. Hey, how you doing? Make sure your breath doesn't stink. And then you start to engage with everyone that comes through the door, build the relationships and utilize that. It's the truth, right? If my breath stunk as I walked through the door, you would not shake my hand.
Not at all.
Think we wear masks now.
No.
We wear masks. We wear
That's
masks.
true.
You can't even smell it. But if you see my
That's
glasses
true.
fogging up, then you'll think about it, you know?
I'm
Right,
crying.
exactly.
My makeup.
So true. Absolutely.
Oh
I mean,
my
and you
God,
had open houses.
Right.
It's been fun.
Right, this
So,
was
wait, before we
wonderful.
go, there's just one thing I want to add. So you had plugged in about databases. So for everyone that's
Yeah.
listening, for those who are actually willing to do this, for agents especially, look at your database. Here's a quick challenge. How good is your database? Right?
Oh,
Call everyone on your database, whether it's 200, 2 people, 5,000. Call each and every one of them.
cool.
Or
There's
text each
something
and every one.
in your phone called contacts.
Right.
Call those, right?
Call.
Those
And
contacts.
I will love in our next segment if someone wants to just say, "Hey, listen, I just saw it. You know, I saw what your challenge was." In our next segment, at least let us know how many leads you actually picked up that you put into your A column. Man, I would love to hear that. Love to hear that.
You know what I wanted to do for next
Love
next
that challenge.
segment, and I have yet to talk to that agent. I wanted to get an icon in our neighborhood, somebody we've been working with, and she's very private, but she's a powerhouse. She's a beast, and maybe I don't want to say her name because I hope she's gonna want to do it. And she's with us. She's
Don't say her name.
don't say her name. You know, I would want for us to have a conversation with her and see, you know, how she was able to actually make it in this business. And also English is her second language, and she's doing it, you know, and she's a wealth of knowledge. She's very coachable. She's really smart. She's tall. She's pretty. she's got a.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
I know
What are you talking about? Like,
Okay. All right. No, you know, we'll see. I want to talk to her and see if she's willing to get interviewed,
ooh,
you know, by us. That
I
could
like
be
that
good.
secrets.
Yeah. Because you know, you guys have also come to her for business and ask her along the year. That would be great.
Absolutely. I look
I'm
forward to
just
it.
throwing it out there in the universe. Please come and talk to
Put it
us.
in the universe.
Yes, and then we can talk the week after. We can talk about what's going on, who's been doing the homework, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to it.
Maybe.
All right, it's been a pleasure.
Yes,
You
it has been.
guys, you're on my list of favorite people, both of you. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. And until next week, when you say
I-
Monday Morning Live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, that's it. That's gonna kick it off. We should start our segment and say, hey, we're gonna start off with selling naked, or was it naked real estate? We should just
God,
call it.
that's
I think we
horrible.
should. If you guys are watching now, Put it in there in the chat. Put it in the polls. If you guys think that we should call this Naked Real Estate, then we might just put that title. If you don't like it, give us some of your feedback.
I'm
Let us know what you
typing
think
it
we
up.
should call it.
I'm typing it up. I need my glasses.
Absolutely.
So this is horrible. This is funny. Until
All right.
next time,
Well,
everybody.
Well,
Have
next
a
time.
great weekend. Can
Yeah.
you start selling
Guys,
some houses?
Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate
Thank
your
you.
attention. We love you guys. Thanks so much. And we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.